Basco, and these are the team members.
Hi, I'm Irvin.
Hi, I'm Serena.
Today, we will be presenting to you why we are concerned about scamming. Now, I will hand the presentation over to Serena.
Thank you, Basco. Now, some of you might be wondering, what is scamming? Well, scamming is when scammers cheat victims. They use many techniques, like fear or using people's greed against them. Or, even worse, taking control of people's emotions and then using their kindness and their naive to in turn hurt the victims themselves. These scammers do this to get something for free, but that will also mean that the victims will lose it. They often want to get possessions like money or other valuables. Other times, they want personal information. Sometimes, they want all of that. Personal information is used to make money, either by selling it on the black web or by using the information to hack into victims' bank accounts and transfer all the money to the scammer's account. Imagine working so hard all your life, only for all your money to be gone in an instant, all because of a scammer. Now that you know what scamming is, I'm going to tell you about different types of scams. There are many types of scams. I'm going to talk about phishing scams today as they are the most common and have resulted in the most losses. Phishing scams is basically where the scammer tricks you into clicking on a link that they've sent you. It brings you to a website that looks real but is actually fake. You have to log into your bank account in there, but your details will be stolen because it is spoofed. And the scammers have access to your passwords. Now I'm going to tell you about who are most vulnerable to scams. Older folks. Older folks are generally more optimistic, and some have reduced cognitive abilities. Others are not familiar with the latest technology or scams. All these factors mean that the elderly are more likely to be targeted, and the elderly are more likely to fall for the scams. Very empathetic people. Remember, you should always think twice before you do something. Very empathetic people can fall for scams that pretend to be from people in need, asking for money. They want to help, so they send the money over, but they don't know it's actually a scam. If they actually want to help, they should turn to charities and organizations instead, as they are safe and you're actually helping someone in need. People who are too self-confident. They think they're too smart and cannot be scammed, so they let their guard down. Remember, scamming can happen to anyone, any gender, any age, any ethnic background. It doesn't matter who you are, you can be scammed. So always be alert. And now, I will hand it over to Irvin.
Thank you, Serena, for your presentation. Now let me continue this topic. When do we get scammed? We get scammed when we're alone, not informed, or not familiar with the latest technologies. When a person lives in social isolation, especially those elderly who have retired, are most vulnerable to scams, as they do not keep in contact with the people outside. And when we're not familiar with the latest technologies, it is harder to detect scams as technology evolves. So does scams. Do you know that during the COVID-19 pandemic, scam rates increased by 32%? Scammers use websites, SMS texts, and phone calls falsely to inform you should get your vaccination. But by the time they receive your money, they'll never return. And by the time you find out, it might be too late. Now, you might be wondering, can you get your money back after being scammed? Well, it is never too late. It is never too late to get your money back after being scammed. You can call the bank or call the police. You can call the bank to ask for a refund. Most banks will reimburse you the money you've lost if it's due to a scam. You can file a police report to the Singapore Police Force. They have dedicated an anti-scam center that assists in bank account freezing. Always act fast to change passwords of the accounts you might think that are compromised. And always set up fraud alerts to prevent further scams from scamming. In conclusion, do not give up hope as you can get your valuables back after being scammed. Join us and help fight scams to prevent further losses. Now, I'll pass the time over to Vasco.
Thank you, Irvin. Why is scamming a concern? Well, once, an 11-year-old boy saw a Roblox gift card being sold on Carousel for $100. He thought this was a good deal because they usually cost $112. Without his parents knowing, he put in their credit card details and the transaction was successful. But he never got his Roblox gift card back because he had been scammed. His parents checked their credit card balance and it was almost down to zero. Now, the family is struggling to pay for their daily needs and their kids' education after the scam. Now, the 11-year-old boy and his siblings are having issues with their mental well-being, bad school grades, and they don't trust anyone but their parents after the scam. How are people able to scam? Via phone calls, robocalls, and text messages. Phone calls are where the scammer calls a random number and makes fake deals on the call, like, you want $10,000, give us your credit card details to redeem it. But secretly, they don't give you $10,000 and run away with your credit card details. Robocalls are pretty much the same, but they are recorded messages. Text messages are the worst, as scammers enforce you into sending money in a better way, as you cannot speak to the scammer. How can we stop scams? Firstly, be alert to the fact that scams exist. Don't think it happens very rarely. It can easily happen to you. Secondly, don't open suspicious text messages. If you see an unknown or suspicious number in your contacts sending you messages, just delete the contact and don't even open it. Thirdly, notifications that give you too good to be true deals that always should be ignored. Lastly, don't click on unverified links. Nowadays, technology has improved, so possibly you could click on a link that automatically takes information out of an account of yours. Here are some references that we used to make this presentation. Are you being scammed? Congrats! You won $1 billion after listening to this presentation.
Give us your details to redeem.